So the Chicago Bears just found themselves in a tough situation. And this involves GM Ryan Poles. They have to decide almost immediately what they're going to do with him in the future. What's up? This is Sports Talk Bears. And it's Christmas season. The Bears find themselves in the situation that many of us have found ourselves. Your kids have just opened up all their presents, toys everywhere. You have family coming over. So what do you have to do? Throw everything in the closets, go for the illusion of clean in your home to make it look like you actually have it together. So they want to come and enjoy their time there in your home, that it's a palatable place for them. That's where the Bears find themselves right now. And I'm not even interested in talking about that game against Seattle. What actually moves the needle here is that the Chicago Bears need to make a decision about GM Ryan Poles. There's now a hard deadline for doing so. They've got to extend him or release him in under 2 weeks, because dragging their feet, that could throw a wrench into bringing any head coach worth their salt to Hallis Hall. They've got under 2 weeks to figure it out by most estimations. And in case you didn't know, our GM, he's now on a 1-year contract. Any coach, if any coach is going to desire this job, the GM cannot be a lame duck. And I'm going to go to this story here, and this is on Bleacher Nation to kind of support some of this. So you're looking at a guy like Ben Johnson. He's not going to be interested if Ryan Poles is not extended, or if they stand pat as is with a lame duck GM. In this front office, it's officially nuts if they think it's okay to have a lame duck GM while bringing in potential coaching candidates. So backing this up, let's kind of look at the past to inform the future. So what the Bears have done in the past. We're looking at back the last time we hired a GM before Poles, 24 hours after the last game of the 2017 season. Same situation with then GM Ryan Pace. He had 1 year left on his contract. The Bears chose to extend him back then. He led the coaching search. Matt Nagy came to town. This season ends very soon. For many of us, it can't end soon enough, and that's on January 5th against Green Bay. Look to see what the Bears do. If Ryan Poles isn't extended by, I would say, Monday night, the Bears and Kevin Warren, they're starting completely fresh. He's gone, if the Bears have any intelligence left. So let me know in the comments, should they extend Ryan Poles or should they release him? We're soon going to be on an 11-game losing streak. Does this record end up sticking to him? And once again, this is Sports Talk Bears. We are pushing towards 10,000 subscribers on this channel. We've grown so quickly, and I have you to thank. If you get a moment, please consider blessing us. Hit the subscribe button. Would love to have you part of our family. So let's take a shot at this Bleacher Report story. It went through 2 opposing views on the job security of Ryan Poles. Truthfully, I don't think anyone really knows for sure what they're going to do besides the guys inside Hallis Hall, but let's take a shot at it. So the Tribune's Dan Weirderer, 2 excerpts really speak to how this job would be viewed regarding Ryan Poles. So he may be at an actual detriment to keeping on this staff from a head coach, prospective head coach perspective. Having GM Ryan Poles still a part of this staff, it might be a detriment and actually hurt our chances to landing someone like the Lions offensive coordinator. Let's just hear what he had to say. What big-time coach is going to sign up, no questions asked, to work with Ryan Poles right now? If you're a serious candidate, you'll need to ask yourself, and more importantly, them, what is the level of belief in Ryan and where exactly does it stem from? I mean, it sounds harsh, but the first question I'm asking is, why does he get to save his job? And I'd want to walk away with absolutely 0 reservations about their answer. And he continues with this. Every single top candidate that's being sought after is going to want to explore and exhaust their options with every possible coaching opening out there, as opposed to simply taking a leap of faith that they'll get everything figured out. The Athletic's Adam Johns, he feels differently. He actually thinks Poles is fully safe as a GM. I mean, this makes sense too. So this is the guy who took over and started from scratch following the mess that Ryan Pace made, the salary cap, just absolutely incredible shape. We've made a lot of moves. We still have to fix the lines, but we've made a lot of moves and we're still going to be over 80 million in cap space coming into this offseason. Just a fantastic job there. He maneuvered really well with trades, and now he has the right guy in Caleb Williams, and he's accumulated a lot of really good blue chip assets. Does the team feel, do you feel that he's earned the right to see it to the end? I mean, it's just so hard getting away from the fact that it feels so incompetent to refuse to address the offensive line in a meaningful way. I fully get that. And he talked about his high confidence coming into the season, about the depth that this line had, actually speaking of it as a team strength. Now we're looking at it's been revealed through this season, through our eyes, that this was just a failed bargain shopping spree. I mean, it has not worked out as well. That's got to stick to him. And then we're also talking about him talking about, I'm going to create the most comfortable landing spot possible for Caleb. You've never seen a landing spot like this before. And now, due to the incompetent handling of the offensive line, Caleb Williams, he might set the rookie for quarterback sacks this season. It's crazy. Also, talking through this narrative, I'm trying to stay impartial here. It's hard to. Jalen Johnson specifically pointed out coaches he'd liked recently. He said offensive masterminds like Cliff Kingsbury, Ben Johnson, Joe Brady. He also mentioned a leader of men like Mike Vrabel. We covered that here. These seem to be the top candidates so far, right? I'm saying not a single one of them are going to want to come to Chicago if the GM is on a one-year contract. I honestly do not think they would. Then there's also an argument on the other side of the coin that not a single one of them is going to want to come to Chicago if they view Ryan Poles as not a good GM. It's a really tough situation that Chicago's in. And then when speaking about Ben Johnson earlier this season, Jalen Johnson, he had nothing but praise for the current Lion offensive coordinator. Ben Johnson, he certainly, I think it's most definitely, he appears to be the favorite in this clubhouse. And if you're talking about odds of who the next head coach is going to be, there remains some convincing that may be needed from the Bears to get their number one candidate. It's a really difficult situation that they find themselves in. And I would say they probably have 8 or 9 days to make this decision. Super convincing, especially in the case of Ben Johnson. Frankly, he's being able to show that they have their stuff together. He needs to see that the Chicago Bears have their stuff together. The Bears need to do what many of us need to do when we have family coming over at the last minute for Christmas. We have to clear all the mess away. We have to shove things into the closet and make people think that we have things together as a household. And it seems clear that an offensive mastermind, that's beginning to be the preference of the current Bears players. It could be a sign to the Bears locker room has seen the talent that Caleb Williams has, and they're now looking for a head coach to unlock all of his true potential. So if not an offensive-minded head coach next for the Chicago Bears, it seems that the Bears locker room is even aware that a new culture needs to be established. And this is also another knock on GM Ryan Poles. We're looking at this 2024 season proving this Bears culture is far from what Ryan Poles stated it was over the last 2 seasons. We're looking at Pete Carroll. I know you guys think he's too old, but we're looking at coaches like Pete Carroll. We're looking at Mike Vrabel. They'd certainly be coaching hires that would establish a new normal for the Bears, right? A new normal is certainly needed, and it highlights the importance of the Bears getting this hire absolutely right. So the Bears have a little over a week to get this extension done or move on. They need to consider all of these potential pitfalls of this decision coming up, and we should get news really quickly. So once again, look for the Bears to extend Ryan Poles immediately after this Green Bay game. That's going to signal that they are ready to go with their front office intact to get this head coaching candidate that they want the most. If he's not extended, I really think it signals that they're going to move on from GM Ryan Poles and they're going to start completely fresh. You guys, let me know in the comments, should they or shouldn't they? Always appreciate you watching Bear Down, and we're going to finish up this season and get to the off season. It can't come close enough. See you guys later.